Okay, some more list exercises. List exercises 2. So Google for help on the randint function and use it to get and print a single random integer between 0 and 100. Pause the video, go do that, and come back when you're done. Okay, you're back. I assume you're done. So the first thing you have to do is import random because that's where the randint function is. Then you use the randint function, which you have to indicate is within random.randint, somewhere between 0 and 100, and you only want one of them. Print x, and on my try I got 3. You'll very likely get something else. Only a 1% chance that you'll also get 3. So on to the next exercise. Use randint to create a list of 20 random integers between 0 and 100. So of course you have to start with an empty list and then append to it. Okay, stop the video, do your work, come back when you're done. You're back, I assume you're done. So I start with an empty list called randlist, then for I in range of 20. This will get me 20 things, but they will have values. I will run from 0 through 19, but you don't use I for anything. All you care about is really that you're getting 20 things. So every time I get another thing, I append it to the existing list, and then I print randlist, and yeah, I got 20 numbers there. You can count them. Make sure I'm not fooling you. Okay, let's go on to the next exercise. Sort and print the list you created in the last problem. Okay, stop the video, do your work, then come back. You're back. I assume you did your work. Randlist.sort. Print randlist. Note that lists are very mutable objects, so the methods will tend to operate on the existing list in place. And you can look at this list and you can see that in fact it is sorted. Okay, on to the next exercise. What happens if you use the sort method on the right side of an assignment statement? Try that and come back when you're done and we'll talk about my result. You're back. I assume you did your work. So here's my assignment statement. I called the result sorted list. Sorted list is randlist.sort. And I print sorted list. And what did I get? None. The sort method is void. It doesn't return anything. What about append? Well, let's take a look. Bigger is randlist.append of 150. Print bigger. Bigger is none. But print randlist. Note that, in fact, this did work. It did modify randlist, but it didn't convert the result to bigger. Okay? Okay, so next exercise. Create a function, how many underscore a in underscore li, with two parameters, a and li. A is a single object of any type, and the parameter li is a list. And we'll see about that. The function returns the number of times the object a is found in the list li. Test your function by creating a list with 3 copies of range of 5 and verify that the number 1, unfortunately in this font 1 and L look very much the same, they're indistinguishable, occurs 3 times in this list. Okay, this will take you a few minutes, so stop the video, do your work, come back when you're done. You're back. I assume you're done. So here's the function. Typical accumulation pattern. We're building a count. So we start with count is 0. Then for item in the list, if A is equal to the item, then we add 1 to count, and when we're all done with that loop, we return count. Here's where we create the test data. Li is list of range of L5, 5, and L3 is Li plus Li plus Li. Do the test, print how many times underscore A and Li of 1, 13. And yes, there are 3 of them. Okay, so that worked. Okay, let's go on. Next exercise. Test the function again using the line, Mary had a little lamb. Count the number of times the letter A appeared in this line. Mary had a little lamb, that's a string. We've been talking about lists, but that's okay. We have a function list which will turn a string into a list. Let's use that way. So go ahead, do your work, come back when you're done, and we'll look at my answer. You're back. I assume that you've done your work. So I created something called L poem. The list version of the poem is the list of Mary Had a Little Lamb. And just for grins, I printed it out. And there it is. You can see that all of the letters in the poem and the blank spaces have been converted to a list. And print how many underscore A in Li character A in the list L poem. And the function found 4 of them. Okay, next exercise. Was it necessary to convert the string to a list in the previous exercise? That's a good question. And why don't you try just, instead of making the second argument a list, why don't you just throw the string Mary had a little lamb in there directly and see what your function does with it. Okay, do that work and come back and take a look. So the string, S is the string Mary had a little lamb, print, and here's the function, and I just put the string directly into the second argument. And it came up with a 4. Now that's something interesting about Python. If you're thinking in terms of C#, this would have just set off alarm bells. The compiler would not accept that. I wrote this function thinking of B as a list, and I worked hard to maintain that function for a while. But here's the thing, the only restrictions on argument types are imposed by the usage of the parameter within the body of the function. And there's nothing wrong with using a string as the second argument. Okay? That's the end of this set of exercises.